far too much of it. I'm Charlotte, and I'm speaking to you on behalf of my company, Cinter. So you're probably asking, what does Cinter do? Well, we provide design and engineering solutions, and through the application of research and development, and we're specifically directed at generating intellectual property. So we're a small and agile team of material scientists, designers, and engineers. And we like to, well, our particular focus is to develop stakeholder-centered products and services. Sorry.
No, it's not you, it's okay, I don't know. I can use it.
So is that vertical gardening where we photograph on the wall? Is that like vertical gardening?
95% reclaimed materials is
Yeah.
vertical gardening.
Yeah.
We can talk more about that later. So I'm going to outline how technology, manufacture and making are key and fundamental to our business in Cinter. So this will have a focus on small scale, localized and decentralized manufacturing. So now I'm going to ask for a little bit of participation. So when I say made in Britain, what kind of images have been conjured up, or what kind of words do you think when I say made in Britain?
Dot Martens, Minis.
Like, so you're thinking of things like this, yeah?
Yeah.
So there's key identity here, there's also a bit of pride, and there's also status. And invariably along with these come the notions of high quality, heritage, luxury, and possibly exclusivity. So now, my Chinese is rubbish, but I'm going to ask the same question. Made in China. What kind of things are you thinking about?
Mass
production?
Yeah.
See, and an image probably would be something like this.
That's it. Yeah.
And yes, it is from Japan today, but yes, it is China,
Yeah.
because Japan buys into China as well. So that, again, that's looking at like quantity, and so mass production, cheats. Possibly some of you are even thinking knockoffs, and invariably we're all saying plastic.
Yeah.
Is this a correct assumption to have?
No.
No, because here is an iconic British brand, Antiwelly. So they used to be made in Scotland. They've now had to look overseas for their manufacturing. So they are now being made in China. So I'm going to give you Cinter's perception of made in Britain. It's not too different from the one you saw earlier, but it's thinking a bit more cutting edge. It's looking at more high value, high tech solutions like satellites, aeroplanes, or possibly even 600 mile per hour supersonic cars. So how did we get there? Why is there this kind of separation between what is thought of as made in Britain and what is thought of as made in China? Well, historically it was the transfer of knowledge to the East as they provided cheap labour, and we therefore taught, with our arrogance, taught them how to tool a factory, etc. So that subsequently led to a wealth transfer, as we started investing in there for cheap products. And as we invested into them, their wealth grew, and now it's fact, China is the largest economy in the world. And we're also looking at so China and the East are very good at replication, whereas we like to think we're very good at generation. So switching this back and reclaiming it, is that really realistic? Perhaps it's more stopping the flow or transferring the flow elsewhere. Maybe it's not realistic to think that we can actually bring it back. Solution has been 3D printing, and the majority of 3D printers, as you may or may not know, are manufactured in China. So this is something that we look intensely at as part of Cinter, and we see 3D printing as a fundamental tool to what we do. We approach it with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Yeah.
But we also use it to speak to a larger trend that we feel is forming within this industry. A lot of people ask how this is fitting into the UK economy, and that's just a really great question that I hope I'll answer. So this is most people's view of 3D printing. will.i.am, pinnacle of hype, 3D printer in every home, you can make on demand whatever you need from waste plastic bottles. It's not actually what's going on here. This printer operates using manufactured filament that's only made up of 25% of the plastic bottle that's being used. And it still needs, and these are the kind of experiences that you involve yourself in when you first get into 3D printing. So it turns out something like this, and it's a young technology, and invariably there are failures. And it's kind of beautiful in a strange kind of way. So what is actually needed is skilled operators, like before, like the chocolate factory or the warehouse. We need people who know how to use the tools, who can fix them when faults arise, and who can actually iterate and make them better and make them more functional. We also need the skilled engineers and designers to create the files and to create the content that's used for using this product. You also have to think about orientation and things and better modes for this kind of manufacture. But 3D printing is also an example of knowledge transfer, but this time it was from the States. I can tell you this because one of my co-founders is from the States, and he's asked me to include Yankees in that as a bit of a joke. But so they brought us CAD software and 3D printing. So what are the possibilities? A few case studies which we at Cinter find particularly interesting and are on the bleeding edge of the new manufacturing paradigm. So it's where you remove geological associations with manufacture. So 3D House is a company that we work really closely to. We are actually probably one of those 1,000 printers up there in that top corner. Actually we've got 2 printers on the network. But this is a global network that gives everyone, people access to printers locally. So desktop 3D printers and commercial 3D printers locally. So it's connecting the people who want to print with the people who have a printer and want to make. So they've built up strong communities in each of these key areas, in all of these key areas, and they're successfully bringing like-minded people together. So they're also doing community events, and actually my co-founder is the mayor of London for 3D Hubs, so he's actually organising events where he brings people together.
So Boris.
Pardon?
Boris.
He looks very much like Boris. You did see him at the beginning, didn't you? Yeah, we'll go back to later. He's a slimmer version of Boris, but he's equally mental, and he does ride a bike, so there's similarities.
Yeah, the hair is the same.
Yeah, the hair is very much the same. So we're talking about shipping digits rather than shipping atoms. Might be a little bit more. And so they've now just got to 10,000 printers on their network, and they're connecting local printing with consumers globally. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a video. So this, if any of you haven't seen a 3D printer in action, here is one. Here is ours. It's a MakerBot, which is an FDM machine which uses filament to do the layering process. So this is something that was brought to us through that network I just spoke about, the 3D House network. So this is printing a Fairphone case. So a Fairphone is a European company who have created a conflict-free phone. So they tell you where each of the components have come from and then package it. And so when they were looking at something to make, looking to make cases for it, they wanted it to follow the same kind of ethos. And so by actually using the network for people to be able to print a case down the road and meet new people, that fit in well with what they were trying to achieve. So yeah, this is us printing a Fairphone case which came through the network to us. And I think it does speed up in a minute to give you. We can go back to this later. But we're also, so we're talking about microscale manufacture as well. And this is a UK company that has just joined this trend, and this is a desktop filament extruder. So I've been showing you a lot of filament extruded machines, And this is an example of, you put in the pellets and out you get the filament for the 3D printer. But this is, you're now able to have this on your desktop wherever you are in the world or whatever. So there are people making their own equipment and their own hardware. So here is an example of some of the work that we've done, and this, we received our 3D printer, and within a month we'd decided that we were going to generate a line of product which we could commercialise, and we sold it in the Barbican. So this is a high value good that we created off the 3D printer, and this is using some of the, at the time, some cutting edge materials. So this is ceramic mixed with plastic and wood mixed with plastic. And then I'm going to show you this guy. And we talked about that hype, and we talked about people having it in their own homes. But this guy's kind of anti-hype. He's used e-waste to make a 3D printer in Tonga. So he's kind of the pinnacle of sustainability and decentralized manufacturing. So what we're really trying to say is that anyone can do it anywhere, and this is what's happening now. So what could the future hold if this is now? And we feel that the future of UK manufacturing is actually the future of global manufacturing, where everyone is sharing the knowledge and everyone is sharing the wealth, and actually we're all learning off one another. So I'm going to leave on this slide, but that's just some of the things that we do, but feel free now to ask any questions about any of the topics that we can.